Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a reading for the weekend of the 18th of October up until and including the 21st of October 2019. We're going to just have a look at what's coming up, anything of significance, what you can be expecting to see, experiencing, and going through for the weekend. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to kind of bring up was I know that I did a video, not yesterday, the day before, about coming home and navigation back home. People have been experiencing kind of almost timeline leaps here, where the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth, usually they keep a record of that, and there was a blackout period from sort of around the day I did that video, which for me kind of validates what I was saying. But it was almost like it felt you could have experienced almost like you'd lost a day, or you'd skipped a day, or you'd missed a day. Anywhere from the 15th, which was Tuesday, up until sort of today, the 18th, if you had experienced that kind of timeline leap, a timeline merge, where you could have felt like time was speeding up very quickly, you missed a day or skipped a day, it's kind of like a merging of an energy here that's going on. Because obviously we're kind of transitioning out now of Libra season. We're coming out of Libra season, which is very much around the masculine energy of the mind, that kind of thinking process, overthinking, a rebalancing and a recalibration to go into Scorpio season, which is that watery energy around the heart center, the feminine. And again, if you haven't watched the video from a couple of days ago, I think I posted it on the 16th, I would definitely recommend watching that, because it talks about how the feminine, it's more feminine. So we're integrating our emotions now into through our mental clarities and processes. But one thing I did pick up about this weekend, apart from the fact that I can't actually speak because we're in Mercury retrograde shadow period at the moment in Scorpio, which will start from the 30th, but I can already feel the process, the sort of the effects of that. But it's like, I feel like this weekend is going to be quite a busy one. Lots of kind of interactions, lots of the way that kind of spirit is showing me it is like a mirror being held up. So if you've had expectations of certain things, and if you're totally off track, you'll be shown those things. It can be a very literal sense, but it can also be a metaphysical sense. I'm just connecting with the guys to just give exactly as they're saying it, but it's a really transitional period. So if you, how do I want to kind of bring this into this 3D practical reality that we're in? Things are going to be, there's going to be action here. So for example, the last few months, there's been a lot going on upstairs that probably we haven't known, or if you're not intuitive, you haven't really connected to. But it's like, this is about to really transition into the three-dimensional reality we're in. So we're going to start seeing the effects of that physically. So it's going to be like, if you haven't put energy into yourself, or if you've put a lot of energy into yourself spiritually, you're going to be rewarded in the three-dimensional reality you're in. If you've focused on your family, then you're going to be sort of receiving something back this weekend. Like, for example, we've got the moon that's about to transition into Cancer, okay? Now the moon's, that's its natural home. It feels comfortable in Cancer, and the moon is our emotions, okay? And Cancerian is the 4th house, or the home. So it's about ourselves, it's about our family, our loved ones, our property, our domain, our dominion, but it's also about the body, and it rules the sacral chakra, or the kind of the ovaries for women. So it could be that you're, and again, the sacral chakra being your emotions, so it's going to really connect you back to your emotions. Now, because the moon on the 20th is actually going to conjunct our north node, or Cancer, the north node is currently in Cancer at the moment. So what that means is, this is going to spark off because your north node is your soul's path. It's your, I suppose you could say, destiny. It's what you're here to do. Something is going to spark off in you, okay? So I feel like we need to be very aware of what that could be, because it's like that we're going to be very clearly shown certain things. So if you've been questioning certain situations or what decision making, especially during Libra season, I feel like they're going to really want us to, they're just saying buckle down, but also to acknowledge a situation for what it is. So as I say, I wanted to get a kind of spread going as to what we can see within the three-dimensional reality that we're in, and what we'll be experiencing, the general collective will be experiencing from the 18th to the 20th, up until including the 21st of October 2019, because there's just going to be shifts. It's like fast moving, a lot of action orientation, probably going to be a very busy weekend, some of you, all of you, and they're just saying it's like doing the groundwork here. So, you know, and Cancerian is obviously the mother. It's the sign of the mother. It's like your female's lineage, your mother's lineage as well. It's the sign of that. So you could, because obviously we are coming up to Samhain, which is obviously Halloween on the 30th. It's asking us to really start connecting via our ancestors. You could be having family in contact this weekend. You could be seeing family reunion, celebration with friends. Like, there's a lot of kind of social interaction going on here, but also it's about honoring the shadow side of ourselves as well, because obviously Samhain is about the shadow self, the darker side. We both have light and dark within ourselves, which makes us whole. Obviously everyone has that. It's not just, you know, certain individuals. Most people do have the light and dark, and it's about a balance of that. So I feel like, again, it's like the masculine with the feminine. We had that very kind of potent moon with the sun in the sky on the 15th, which, again, the previous video about navigating home, it mentions that there, but I won't go too much into that. But it's like we're transitioning into this yin and yang, okay? So it's essentially us rebalancing ourselves as a whole. So Spirit, what can you tell us here about the weekend of the 18th to the 31st, up until including the 18th to the 31st of October 2019 for the general collective, please? What messages do you have? So the 18th, I'm going to pull a few cards first, and I'm going to read an overall spread here, okay? And that's just why I'm going to do it today. So the 18th up until including the 21st of October 2019. 18th up until and including the 21st. Let's see. Okay. General collective. Card jumped out, and I'm trying to find which one it is. It'll appear in a minute. Messages for the general collective, please. And by the way, I'm using the Rider-Waite. I think this is actually the Rider Tarot deck. But yeah, this is the tarot deck I'm using today. It's my kind of go-to for, let's say, bigger energies or larger messages. Like Spirit were really wanting me to, they're saying put that the other way, they were really wanting me to kind of tap into this energy, because they're just saying there's something important for everyone here with this. It's like everyone is gaining something from this energy. Wow, this is very positive. Okay, first of all, there's a heck of a lot of action this weekend, which is kind of what I was saying earlier, right? First of all, we've got a very strong defensive energy going on here, okay? And there's a burden. So this could be friends, colleagues, counterparts, family members, siblings, contracts, where you are having to stand your ground. You're upholding your domain, okay? But it could have felt like, if this is you in the last couple of days or week, it could have felt that maybe you were either struggling to do that, or it was becoming a burden, okay? You're overcoming this weekend. You're going to be moving away from that, okay? And it's like that competitive element, that argumentative element, that defensive energy is going to be withdrawn. But it's not just going to be from your side. It's actually the other person's going to mirror, or if there's more than one person, they're going to be mirroring, okay? And the reason they're saying that is because it's like the energy is backing off from that area. It's like that's going to be a withdrawal in order for something new to come in. You could see, like, for example, if this was maybe a work contract that has been a struggle to get into place or to have a balance with it, or this could even be a home move where you've struggled to move and it's like it just wasn't happening for you. It's something about your dominion or your domain. So if it's not work, if it's not home, it could be family. Maybe there's arguments with the family. friendship group, maybe people weren't listening, that's being dissolved, okay? That's almost being, it's like they're saying both sides are putting their swords down. It's like if this has been very directly communicated where there's been arguing, or if it's even if it's just something that's been in the air that you haven't actually tangibly seen, that's going to be dissolved, because it's like the energy's being totally softened, okay? And because that's kind of moving away, and it's like the energies, it's like I'm just seeing this wind, this air energy kind of blowing that to one side. And what's coming in is the Knight of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles. So there's an offer coming here, okay? Now, if, for example, this was a work contract that was, you were struggling to get underway, you weren't meeting targets, or it was a struggle to meet what you said you were going to meet, maybe energy levels were low, maybe you were arguing with certain members of the family, this is moving away, but something else is coming in its place, and it's going to be a positive offer. So it could be a new work contract, it could be someone teaming up with you in order for you to be progress forward. So maybe the old people that you were involved with, or the old friends that was weighing you down, but someone else is coming in here to lift you in some way, right? And it's not, again, it doesn't have to be work, it doesn't have to be family or friends. This could also be a relationship, okay? This could be an offer from someone in a romantic, emotional capacity, right? But it's like they're acknowledging your stronghold. So whether or not maybe you've tried to help them in the past and they weren't acknowledging it, maybe this time they now are, because there's a recognition of worth here. They're recognizing your capabilities and they want to honor those. Okay, I'm just trying to listen to exactly what Spirit is saying here, because my guide has come in and he's very particular about how I'm communicating this. This could also have a very clear effect whereby maybe communication was difficult previously, and that the way you were communicating certain things was rubbing people up the wrong way, and you even sort of sat questioning, thinking, why is this having an effect? Like, why are you reacting like this? That's being softened, okay? Someone could also be, they're talking here about a travel or a holiday. So it's like maybe you're getting away this weekend because you feel like you need to let your hair down, or there's some energy where you need to kind of just relax for a bit and just recalibrate, because something about the next couple of months is going to be moving quite quickly, or even start of next week. It's like there's an energy shift here as we really hit that Scorpio season. It's like that kind of dynamic energy is back with you. So where you've had Libra season, which has been recalibration, really kind of decisions being made about head over heart or in any different area, there's a dynamic energy to this that is, it's not just fire, it's not just the kind of wands energy, it's not just swords. We've got pentacles as well. We've got two, in fact, we've got passion backed up by thought, backed up by practical offers. So it's like the sword energy of the Libra season, it's that mental clarity, it's that mental focus, that passion of that kind of sacral chakra, the fire, the feminine, okay, that's combined with the masculine thought process within ourselves, has then kind of reintegrated ourselves in order to then bring tangible practical results within the three-dimensional reality we're in, which is where we're going to be seeing that very kind of clear results, okay, clear results in the three-dimensional reality. So again, backing what I just said earlier with the five-dimensional reality, whereby obviously spirit are maneuvering things to our advantage, and then when the time is right, that will then transition down to the three-dimensional reality we're in order for us to sort of see tangible results around our environment. And this is what we're going to see this weekend. So again, job offers, news, this is all going to be about news, hearing something. Maybe again, it could have been as far as kind of the beginning of the year, it could have been as far back as February that you've had this in the work, it could have been even longer, where tangible results are coming forward, okay? Now interestingly, they're backing this up as well by showing me the Hermit in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is usually about putting a seed in the ground and waiting for that harvest. Okay, now because the Hermit is reversed, where we're not having to seek our own inner guidance and light anymore, and with combined with the Seven of Pentacles, it's making me feel like there is no longer a waiting period here. This is no longer a wait, okay, because we've got the two that have come up together. So usually upright, this would have been, you know, keep to your own self, very insular, very kind of introverted energy. But combined with that, it's kind of saying this period is over. So there's a cycle that's been completed, right? And then to totally back it up with a cherry on top, we're seeing the Tower with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is very fast moving energy. It's very dynamic energy. This could be news, communication, travel, a journey, not just in a literal sense. This could be figuratively, you know, maybe you're going through a huge transition. You've got the go ahead, the green light, and that's it, you're moving, because the old foundation is moving out. This is the Tower card. So it's like that previous Two of Swords energy, that very kind of almost mixed minds. We're moving out of that. That's it. That energy is going. They're just saying there's no more room for the old paradigm. Okay, so where I've mentioned previously at the beginning of this week, there was that kind of cut in that Schumann resonance, like kind of they measure it, Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth. So it measures energy. Okay, now again, they were showing from Thursday that there was a huge gap from, I think it was 1 to 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you're in the UK, that would have been around sort of 8 to 11 a.m. I think. It's usually, I think it's 8 hours in the UK. It's at least, that's 8 hours behind us. So, hence when I wake up, I felt like we'd missed a day. It's a timeline change. It's the old ways are being removed. The pausing is kind of shedding. Okay, action. We're having action. Okay, so the old ways are going. And that Eight of Wands energy is being kind of, it's like they're shooting their shot here. Now 8 is the number of infinity. They're shooting their shot. Okay, so this could also have been a link from August. Maybe you had something around August that you had been trying to achieve, carry out, transition towards. But it's like, these cards are screaming news. Like we're gonna get news. There's news coming. There's news. And again, King of Cups, it's that moon energy. King of Cups is obviously linked to water signs, and the moon is in a water sign this weekend. Now, King is obviously regarded as the masculine, okay, but the moon is regarded as the feminine. So it's like a meeting of the minds and hearts this weekend here. And if that is not with a partnership, it will be within yourself. It's like your masculine and feminine sides are going to be integrating, okay? And then we've got the King of Wands, which again is fire energy, okay? Now, don't forget the video I did a couple of days ago about the fact that we had the summer triangle, and we've got the fire and the water energy. Was it fire and water, or was it fire and air? But this is like a passion reignited. This is a passion reignited, a masculine, very dynamic energy that wants to move something forward. So again, if you're in a counterpart scenario where you've had not a lot of action, that's going to change. I feel like they want me to go back into the King of Wands and the King of Cups here. I'm missing something. Spirit just said challenge accepted. So whether or not maybe you've illuminated something to your counterpart or to another person or to a family member recently, you've maybe had a very serious discussion or conversation. It's like whatever that was said, it's like your other half is, or your counterpart or your husband, your wife is acknowledging. There's an acknowledgement. And for some reason, I want to say also, this is father's lineage as well now. So it could be that you're connecting very closely around your father's side. Maybe your father's ancestors are wanting to contact you, because mine definitely have over the last couple of days. They have been trying to give me all kinds of information, trying to get me to get involved with their family business. this is about your forefathers. So if you've got some similarities to your father's lineage that's been closed out, it's like there's something generational, ancestral, that it's going to be different for absolutely everyone. But it's like, because the South Node, let me just have a quick look at this, because the South Node is actually conjunct, I think, Saturn this weekend, and Saturn would relate to that. Again, it's the kind of fatherly energy. Let me just have a look, because that's the South Node would be about karma and about previous lifetimes as well. So interesting that they've brought out those kind of cards, really. Let me just tune into this energy here. So this is going to be, it will be roughly around the 20th that will be, the moon will be conjunct the North Node. Let me just see where this, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and I think the South Node is actually in Capricorn. Let me just double check this for you, just because I don't want to just, you know, randomly sell this information, then I'm not kind of backing it up. One sec. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the South Node that is exactly conjunct Saturn in Capricorn. Now, because the North Node is conjunct the Moon and the South Node is conjunct Saturn, again, it depends on what houses that is in your natal chart where that's transitioning through. But there's something, because the moon, it relates to the feminine, okay? The moon relates to the mother side. So again, I'm viewing the two, the King of Wands and the King of Cups, as something around your parental lineage, both mother and father side, that either will be revealed or cleansed or released. But there's something very, if maybe you felt, because we've got the Temperance card as well that has come up here, okay, that's healing. And it's not just, you know, literal healing. This is a spiritual healing. This is, and as you can see on his top, he's got that summer triangle, okay? He's got the sun that's wrapped around his head, and he's got the two cups flowing. And in the background, you've got the sun that is appearing over the mountains. So you've got a very, very strong, powerful cleansing energy, where this is not just in your literal three-dimensional. This could be even your ancestral karma, your family. So maybe something was very hard for your family. Someone was really struggling around ancestral patterns, or your ancestors were, you know, maybe sort of trying to get someone's attention, and it's being cleansed. There's something around a family unit here that's being cleansed over this weekend. Now, we can check to see how literally you're going to see that, because it could just be that the effects will start, but we'll double check. One sec. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so Saturn, basically, just to give you a heads up, it's the god of agriculture, founder of civilizations, and of social order and conformity. Okay, so it's about restriction, limitation, discipline, rules, regulations that have been imposed on us. Okay, yeah, so where Jupiter expands, Saturn sort of almost constricts a little bit. So it brings structure and meaning. That's essentially what the planet brings. So if it's connected to the South Node, which is about our background, our early childhoods, our past lives, if you don't believe in past lives and early childhood, what we're transitioning away from, it reminds us of our boundaries, our responsibilities and our commitments, and it also makes us be aware of the need for self-control and with our boundaries as well. So yeah, it is also associated with fathers and or father or authority figures. Okay, so you've got the very kind of strong moon, which is the feminine, the mother, conjunct the North Node, which is you know, how we want to move forward. It's our soul's path. It's what we're here to do as on a soul level, a soul contract, which is opposing the South Node, which is what we have been moving away from. which is conjunct Saturn, which is all about the father. So we've got a very dualistic, very, very kind of mirroring going on here. So pay attention to you within your energetic body. What is it that's driving you forward at the moment? Are you ruled more by a masculine energy or a feminine energy? Because there's going to be almost like an opposition, I feel. It's like there's things that are needing to be brought up, to be looked at. So if maybe you're ruled primarily over your heart, and you need to maybe balance your heart with your mind, you know, with that masculine and feminine energy, maybe that's what it's bringing up for you. But let's ask the question, what is this going to bring this weekend? Wow. Okay, so first of all, they're confirming that star alignment that I mentioned, the summer triangle again. If you haven't watched that video, please watch it. The stars are literally aligning here in order to allow us to transition to where we need to be. That's going to be different for absolutely everyone, but this is about shedding a defensive energy, a defensive pattern of behavior. If you've been around an environment that has not allowed you to grow, or hasn't maybe honored you, or maybe hasn't taken you into consideration, or where you've been very restricted in your energy moving forward, it could be your father's line, maybe you were expected to be a certain way. It's like there's a removal of that, and action is being prompted essentially. So it's very interesting. It's like, let me just get some more cards. What else can the general collective expect to see from the 18th up until and including the 21st? Interesting. So maybe you are in a position where either maybe you were in a background where you didn't feel like you had that kind of input around your upbringing, where you didn't have that sustenance, that emotional kind of giving. Maybe you felt like you were a little bit of a loner, or you were a bit disconnected from your family, or maybe you've been given and offered things and it just hasn't quite been what you've wanted, or maybe you've got an offer coming in now, or maybe you've had a recent offer and it just wasn't quite what you wanted. And I don't know if you can see that the light has just gone out. So I think it's safe to say that there's an offer coming, okay? There could be an offer coming, but it might not be what you want, because actually what you really want is what you can give to yourself, which is your own topping up of love, your own top up. Okay, so I've just tried the light. We've got a power cut here. So thanks, Spirit. There's obviously a message in this, because they wouldn't have done that otherwise. But it's like, if maybe you haven't seen the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe it's as quite literal as that. Or maybe you have felt like that this has just been such a hard slog that you're just kind of like, when is this coming? It's coming, okay? Whether that's from you giving it to yourself, or whether you're gaining it from somewhere else, everyone's going to be different. But can you see, right? So this is the Four of Cups card. From the sky, they're giving an Ace of Cups, right? God, the universe, source is giving something. And in this card, that person doesn't want it. That's typically the meaning of the Four of Cups. But then they're giving it again. So this could also be second chances. Maybe you've had a relationship. Maybe you've had a disconnect from your family. Maybe you've been waiting a long time. This is going to be moving along now. Maybe you've been looking for emotional stability and you haven't had it. This weekend, it's going to be, again, wow. This is amazing. Okay, so we've now got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Seven of Pentacles is waiting for those pentacles to root. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles straight afterwards. So an offer, a tangible offer. This could be work contract. This could be a kind of, maybe you're linking up with other people. Maybe you're starting a community. Maybe you're meeting up with friends. Maybe there's a literal moving of a home. This is a practical three-dimensional offer. So this maybe could be money. Maybe you're coming into money. But combined with this, it's a spiritual offer. It's something very once in a lifetime, I feel. There's something very big that you're going to be seeing this weekend, but it's going to differ from absolutely everyone. If it's not an emotional fulfilling thing, if it's not a spiritually fulfilling thing, it will be a very tangible three-dimensional thing. But I feel like it's going to be based on what you've done. So if you've been putting really good energy out, you're definitely going to get that back, because it's like, yeah, we are well and truly moving out of the cycle here, because we've got the Six of Wands with the World. So it's we're moving away from something, closing out a cycle. I'm just trying to listen to what they're saying. Don't know if you can see this, but on the Ace of Cups, we've got the lily pads here with the I can't remember what they're called. What are they called? Those flowers that grow up. Not orchids. It's gone blank. My mind's gone blank. Spirit, can you help me out? Lotus flower, thank you. So I don't know if you know about how the lotus flower is birthed, but the lotus flower is birthed via, originally it starts off at the sort of base of the very base of a river, a lake, okay, and it's born from the silt on the bottom of the bed, okay, so it's born from dirt essentially, and then when the time is right, it rises up to the surface and blooms, and that's how you see this absolutely gorgeous lotus flower, okay. So its beginnings were very meager. It had very big, sort of meager, very almost like a very under kind of developed beginnings. It wasn't, there was no expectations. It was like underestimated beginnings, but the outcome was very, very potent. It was very powerful image. Very, I mean, it's a symbol of peace, isn't it, the lotus? So if you have absolutely grafted and grafted and grafted and grafted, and maybe this was you, maybe you were giving your energy and your cups out, and this was the other person and they weren't taking it, well, this time Spirit are giving you your own, okay, and if it's not from this individual, it'll be for something that you want, and if you don't want to have that from the same individual, then maybe it's someone better, you know. And again, you are waiting and you are waiting and you are waiting and you are waiting. Spirit is saying you don't have to wait anymore. This is coming, okay. And again, if it's not in the three-dimensional, it will be via the spiritual. So, and if it's not in, you know, a money concept or protection, then it will be emotional, spiritual. And if it's not, or it could be both. Maybe one or two of you are lucky enough to have both things, but they're saying the path is clear now, okay? So don't forget, you reap what you sow. If you've put a lot of energy and effort into certain things, there's rewards coming. There's big rewards. It's paying off. And again, if there's been concerns, worries, this is the Nine of Swords in reverse. If you've been up at night concerned, worried, wondering when is it going to be your turn, what are you going to do, this energy is, yeah, look, this is totally shifting. So it's like the end of the unknown. It's like because we've got the Death in the reverse and the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets, right? And with it being upright, it can also mean secrets, but it's usually about a reveal. And with Death in the reverse, it's like we're transitioning out of something. And don't forget, this is also the Scorpio card, okay? And we're just about to get into the Scorpio season. And we're transitioning out of that unknown, out of that kind of very kind of dualistic energy, the black and the white, dark and the light. So, as I say, yeah, look, she's got the sun and the moon in the High Priestess card. So it's about, just trying to see what they're trying to say. Oh. Yeah, no more fears. There's a releasing of a fear, okay? It's like we're not as concerned, we're not as worried. And this could also be someone that has been maybe keeping an eye out on you in a good way, romantically. Knight of Cups in reverse. Maybe they're actually now coming forward and telling you, look, this is actually, I know you came forward with that cup, that Four of Cups, but actually I wasn't ready and now I am. Yeah, because look, the Emperor and the Fool. So if this is not you, this is a very authoritarian energy, very masculine energy. With the Fool, it's like there's a transition out of previous restrictions, previous worries, concerns in, and it's like there's a balance of that very divine masculine energy that they're breaking out of that mold. They're trying to make, they're going to come forward. It's like, and if this is not sorry about that, the postman knocked on the door, so again could be getting a delivery of some kind as well. There's no coincidences in these readings. Okay, so you could be getting a delivery, a notification, something arriving, something that you weren't expecting, someone that you weren't expecting, positive, because it was a good thing that they came. So the Emperor and the Four, apologies for that. So the Emperor and the Four, this could be a boss. Maybe you're going alone. Maybe you're starting your own business. This is your attempt. Maybe someone's coming in to help you to start your own business as well. It doesn't have to be a counterpart or a love situation. Maybe this is your father. Maybe you're reuniting. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're kind of doing your own thing. And, you know, this could maybe also relate to maybe the father of your child if you've got children. Maybe you're going to be hearing positive news from that. You know, it doesn't have to be negative. So now this is the third king we've had out now. But there's also here a confusion about a practical, stable environment. Again, could be a father figure, could be a husband, partner. But it's like there's a lack of clarity. So if you're feeling that energy around this weekend as well, where maybe, you know, you've been around a partner that is not seeing your side of things. It could be an ex. Oh, sorry, as you can see, the power's just come on. Let me turn this light down. Are we on? So yeah, took me a while to get back, sort of re-pause it, because everything kind of just... This is going to be an interesting weekend. Again, it's that light, it's just that illumination, you know? Truths. Oh my goodness, this is... We get it. We get it, okay. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry. Spirit, we get this now. We don't want any... We get it. There's going to be an illumination. There's going to be action. Like... Thank you, though. Bless them. They're just trying to help me, trying to get the communication through. But there's a little burden going on here, and it's going to be released, okay? So don't have to worry about that. Let's see, what's the outcome of this weekend? What's this weekend going to bring? Because now I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen. General collective, so from the 21st and after the weekend, what will that energy have brought through for everyone? What's that going to do? I'm intrigued. What's the energy going to have done? I've got to laugh. I love it when they do stuff like that. I mean, look, I wish you could see all of me, because I feel like this is good. People are going to be like, yeah, right, she's pulling some... You know what I mean? There's going to be some kind of like, you know, background. Someone's moving everything and the lights are going. I promise it's not me, you know. Reunions. Okay, this is celebration. This is brilliant. There's a celebration happening here, okay? Celebration, reunions. Could be drinking with friends, partners. A reunion of maybe people that you've known from the past, family. This is the thing, it really does depend, but it's like, goodness me, we've got some, okay, so let's just put all these cards together. Okay, so again, the defensive energies, people are really releasing that defensive energy there, okay, but this is going to happen really quickly. We've got the Knight of Swords, okay, we've also got, this is the Heartbreak card in reverse. It's like there's a start of a healing process, so maybe you could have had word from people that you know, you've got communication now, you know where you stand. Oh my goodness, here we go. This has got... This is ridiculous, because my internet has come back online, because the whole power went off. It's like they're making all these noises. Distractions are going to be everywhere, all right, guys? So just pay attention to that. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is a very clear changing. Okay, maybe you haven't been able to move away from someone, maybe a third party you've been involved with or someone that you are closely linked to, maybe a third party that is intervening in your relationship, that's about to be disconnected. That's about to be challenged. We've got a total change in fortune here, okay? Whereby maybe they were confused before, or maybe you were confused by what route to go down or who to be in alliances with, which way to tread. So maybe you backed off a little bit. That person's stepping up now and is going to totally take on that responsibility, and they're going to do what's needed. But the Wheel of Fortune card being given at the end just means whatever resistance, I want to say, that maybe you've had, and you like, because we've had quite a few during this 40 minutes, this is going to be released. It's like we're going to be allowed to be ourselves and be where we need to be. I'm just listening to what they're saying. Releasing, there could also have been a releasing of expectations. Maybe something very positive is going to happen, and it's not going to be exactly as you're expecting it to be, but it's going to be better and different. I'm just trying to get what else they're saying here about this information. Renewal. This is about renewal, especially because we've got the Devil card and the Three of Swords in reverse. It's like what potential restrictions were around before, there's a releasing of that, because we've got the Wheel of Fortune card coming right next to it. So if you've had blocks, if you've had a restriction, this looks like it's becoming clear. And they're channeling a song now, One Moment in Time. I don't know if that relates to anyone in particular, but it's like, again, what I talked about with the Schumann resonance indicator, where there's that big timeline leap. Time is an illusion anyway, but it's like it could be that with how do I want to say this, either your time is going to very much speed up over this weekend or slow down, one or the other. I feel like you're going to be very consciously aware of it. You could also be needing to do certain things. It's like maybe you've got plans, but then there's going to be lots of other plans built in, last minute plans, very last minute. Maybe friends are going to be asking you for a bit of help or assistance. You could be maybe spreading yourself a little bit thin at the sort of between now and the end of the weekend. Just make sure that you're topping yourself up. Just please make sure that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket or all your energy out, because we need you to be as focused as possible, because this next month there's a lot coming. This is what Spirit is saying. There's also something here around blue. Now, either this is going to be a clearing around your throat chakra. Maybe you've had throat issues. Maybe you've been a little bit poorly around that energy. Maybe you've couldn't communicate your truth before, but now you can. But there's something around blue in the throat chakra. Again, with the news thing, that would really come into it as well. So what else will we have seen the end of this period, please, Spirit? The general collective. Wow, yeah. Yeah, look, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, now we've got the Empress in the reverse as well. So it could be that feminine energies are being balanced out as we speak. The Ace of Pentacles is usually very earthly kind of energy. So this could be a literal pregnancy. Maybe you're finding out about pregnancy. Maybe it wasn't planned. And if it's not that as literal, it could just be a birth of an idea that was unexpected from the tail end or the remnants of this energy. Yeah, and it's like a passion that's been united or reignited here. So looks really positive, to be totally honest with you. It looks like there's a lot going to be happening for this weekend, but I'm just going to pull some oracle cards here just to top this off and end this. We'll do the wisdom oracle. Okay, so by the way, I'm really sorry if I made you jump earlier with the light going on. I'm so sorry. Could be a lot of surprises for people, to be honest with you. Again, I'm so sorry. Like, sometimes my guides want to hit the point home a little too hard, and it's like, thanks, guys. So yeah, so the outcome for the 21st of by the way, if anyone remembers the TV series Rent a Ghost in the UK, it's like Rent a Ghost around here. Just an FYI. So 21st of October 2019 from the 18th to the 21st of October 2019. What's the outcome, please? The general collective. 18th to the 20th, and including the 21st of October 2019 for general collective. What's the outcome, please? What's the outcome to this energy? Both in the literal and the 5D sense. If you need to give any further messages as well, that's much appreciated. Yeah, you're getting major insights, okay? So if someone hasn't been hearing or seeing you or understanding you, this is some real truths coming in. People are getting very clear indicators, and as you can see, there's a mask at the bottom there. Maybe people have been sort of hiding a truth that you've known about, maybe, and that you've been warning them. It could also be that, you know, because you're the owl. The owls that usually, I've got an owl for protection, but owls are usually very astute. They can usually see from very far, 360 degrees around us. So these owls are very, usually they have vision, they have perception, they've got clairvoyance. So maybe you've known all this and that you've been warning someone, and or maybe you've been expecting something and it comes through exactly as you thought it would and you knew it would happen. But it could be to do with emotions, but it could also be to do with three-dimensional physical, the tangible, so money. It doesn't have to just be, yeah, emotions, as I said before. Yeah, look, Treasure Island. So again, it's revalidating about this money. You could be getting a huge influx of money, an increase. Now, interestingly, we've got a number 9 card here. That's completions. Okay, that's endings, all right? And then we've got the time to go card, which is a 5 and a 4 in that card, 45, which is a 9 as well. So it's almost like we're transitioning through to abundance, okay? And it's worth, it's your worth that you've realised. You've realised your worth, and you're transitioning through to the abundance that you've always known that you had, but maybe you weren't able to get to that point. Okay, so do I want to go? No, I want to go to the enchanted map. So Spirit, what is the outcome, please? For the 18th to 21st of October. Up until including the 18th and the 21st of October. What's the outcome, please? What can people expect to see as an outcome for this weekend, please, Spirit? Thank you so much. What's the outcome, please? 18th to 21st. What is the outcome? I feel like I might have to put a warning at the beginning of this on the title, because it's like there's all these like lights and things. And I don't know, maybe you even heard the knock on the door earlier, so might have to put a little warning there, because I don't think anyone they'll be like, is this like some kind of, you know, like movies sometimes have that kind of intense build up. I don't want to scare people. Yeah, there's fast pace. This is going to move quickly, slow and steady in the reverse here. So if this was a long time coming, I feel like this is, you're really going to see some action with this. Okay, and again, one or two of you might still feel that there's, maybe you're getting more than one option as well. So just pay attention for that. Maybe there's more than one thing that's coming, or more than one choice that you must make. Maybe you're planning because you know that you're busy, you know. Okay. And also pay attention to the signs around you, okay? Because they're talking about listening here. Maybe you're getting very subtle signals, signs that maybe you're not acknowledging at the moment, and that's also a reminder of this weekend you may get an indication or a significant kind of sign to back up what you've wanted to find out, okay? Because we've also got metamorphosis, which is that kind of evolution of that chrysalis and that butterfly. You know, we're kind of morphing into our new form. It's like a brand new phase. So yeah, very positive. Okay guys, so hopefully that's been of some help. I'm back Monday to do, not sure which kind of video I'm going to do just yet. I'm going to sort of test to see what the energies are like, and then if I get led by spirit, I'll do a video based on that. But apologies for all the jumpy parts, but hopefully it's been of some assistance. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video. It's much appreciated. And have a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye bye.